Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Rooster AM. It's Ryan Nelson. Today we have Renae Truex, master fiddle player, has done incredible work, especially on my own works. I am so fascinated by what she did. She took a song that I almost threw away and turned it into something special, and it's what everybody's loving right now in Enid. So, just thank you, Renae. How are you doing today?
I'm great. I'm on the move. I'm getting prepared. I have some rehearsals coming up. Doing a Brooks and Dunn, Alan Jackson, George Strait tribute show up in Ohio. I'll be in Lorain, Ohio, and Hartville, Ohio this weekend. So I'm cramming material.
Human material, huh?
Yeah, it's all
So,
good. Good
I
stuff.
mean, you're known in Nashville. I know that, and I know that you Steve talked so highly of you when we were in the studio, and I kept saying I would like a fiddle, but when we started talking about it, he was like, "Well, how do you want to chart this out?" And I'm almost like, "Let her do her thing." How did that feel when I was just like, "Just do your thing. Like, don't worry about." I mean, did he send you charts anyway? Because I told him just to tell you to do your thing.
Yes, yes, he did. But when I start digging into a track, I'll listen to it and I'll just instantly I'll start hearing these many things going into my mind, what I could be playing in certain sections, and I just start building from there.
Well, I thought it sounded beautiful. I am not kidding. I was inches away from throwing it away. Like I felt like it just didn't have it. But once you laid the fiddle track down after, and I was like, okay, now it went from good to great. And we posted it and it's just went bonkers. I'm just saying it went bonkers overnight.
That's great. I'm
And
blessed to be a part.
I attribute so much to that to you because of just your great playing on the track. So when did you first like when did you fall in love with the fiddle? It's a hard instrument, no frets. I mean, it's not easy.
It definitely takes a certain gearing. Yeah, my dad bought me my first fiddle when I was 11, and he played fiddle. He used to, he would do square dances and fiddle contests and things like that, along with my grandmother. My grandmother, his mom, she played square dances, she played guitar and piano and a bunch of other things. But he bought me my first fiddle. Yeah, I was 11 years old, and I played on it, but it's just like, you know, scales and basic fiddle tunes, and then he would take me to fiddle contests. I would just hide, lose them, and I was like, eh. I just didn't take to it. I was like, it stayed in the closet. He's like twisting my arm to try to get me to practice, and I just didn't want anything to do with it. Um, but when I was 15, there was this band that came to our town, and it was a folk rock group. It was just unreal. And I went, oh, I'm going to go to the concert. It's in my hometown of Moundsville, West Virginia. So I went and I saw this lady. Her name's Denny Bonet. I saw her take that instrument just to places I never thought possible. And she had it all wired up, and she had pedals and just a bunch of stuff. And I mean, it was just amazing. And I just went, oh, and it just went, oh, it's like I want to do that. I want to do that, because I think every kid when they're 15 years old, they have this friend who's good at this, and they have that friend who's good at that. And it's like, well, what do I do? You're looking for that thing that you could do. And when I saw what that instrument could do outside the box, I went, oh, I want to do that. So afterwards, you couldn't get it out of my hands. It was just, I pulled it out of the closet and just took off after that. And I was in my first band with my dad 6 months later. So
At 15.
at 15 years
So
old, and my dad had a PV Special 130. He had a bunch of those, and my grandparents lived next door. So I they went off to Florida for the winter, and I set up a whole practice room next door. I took my dad's PV Special 130 and hooked it up. He bought me an Alvarez violin that had a jack, so it was like I could actually plug in. And I bought my first pedal. It was a Boss Octaver pedal, and I went over there and just went nuts. I would just crank it up. My mom would have to come and get me to, come on, gotta come to dinner. So it
So
was
you
just
just fell in love.
yes, yes, fell absolutely fell in love with it, and I keep in touch with my friend to this day. I keep in touch with her. She lives up around New York City, and but all throughout the years, yeah, I just started picking stuff up, like learning by ear, listening, playing to records, and just whatever else I could get my hands on. I was just like, ah.
Is there any fiddle player out there that kind of helped shape you early on, like sound wise, or you just kind of went after them all?
Yeah, well, she was the first initial like huge influence, but I've just listened to so many throughout the years. I listened to Jean-Luc Ponty. He was a big one. Stefan Grappelli, um, Buddy Spiker's another one. Like when I first moved to Nashville, that's the cool thing about being in Nashville. I'd only been playing 4 years when I moved, and uh, I met Buddy Spiker. He was at the time he had a swing band that was right downtown, and this is like 95 that I met him, and I was I was like, wow, blown away. And I just moved. I didn't have a lot of money or anything, but I says, well, is there something I could do to to maybe get if you could help me out on some things? And he was just opening up a recording studio around Five Points in East Nashville, and he's like, sure. And he came over, and I helped him. They had bought a place in that area back then, and I helped clean the place out and paint and clean the fireplace. And then in return, he would help me out. He would give me some fiddle lessons.
Wow. So you really worked for it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's just your work is never done. That's the thing is
Yeah.
like I've been in town 30 years and your work is never done. And it's you're always learning something, you're always picking up something from somebody or you're discovering something new. Or you're always getting, getting all kinds of new ideas and to me it's all about always pressing forward. It's like you're always going to be learning something. You always got to be
Wow. You there?
it's I'm all into eating humble pie as necessary and to improve myself and make myself better. So,
Okay. Are you still there, right? For some
yep.
reason we had a little skip there for a moment, but it's okay. Um, so is it I don't know if I was reading this right because I mean I look at you, I think Nashville, I think country music. Was there a moment that you played with Poison
Oh,
or
well,
open?
well, I did work with Brett Michaels.
Oh,
Um,
okay.
yeah, and it was really crazy. This was a while back, but it was when he was doing a country. He was doing kind of more of a country record, and I was just heading home from a night of gigs. I was just leaving downtown, and I get a call from a studio friend of mine. His name was Jamie Loritz, and he calls me. I'm just getting on the interstate to head home, and he's like, "Hey, what are you doing?" I'm like, I'm heading home. I just finished a gig." He says, "You need to come to the studio. I need you to do the track." And I was like, "What's going on?" He says, "Well, it's for Brett Michaels." He's recutting every rose has its thorn. I'm like, what?
And he wanted you to come and cut a track.
Yeah, and I was like, okay. So I turned around and went to the studio and met him, and he was a really cool dude. And he was like, oh, neat, and we ended up cutting a track. And it's like I'm thinking about this going through my head. I'm like, I remember hearing this song when I was in junior high and hearing it. It was like this huge hit going through the halls of junior high and hearing that song, and I'm like, I never thought in a million years I'd actually be sitting in the studio recutting this song. It was so cool. Yeah, so then we went on ahead and did some other shows after that, and did some
That's
other
so
stuff. It was
awesome.
really cool.
Some of the highlights of like who are some of the people that or what's the wildest show you've ever played?
The wildest show. Oh my goodness. I would, as far as a situation, um,
How about we do both? How about we do one where it was just completely bonkers fun and one where it's like I never want to walk into that place again.
what I would consider wild would be when you get the phone call and it's like this last minute phone call and you're like, whoa. But it was really amazing. Gosh, there's so many things. Okay, so This is another situation where I was working with this guitar player for another artist, and he calls me up out of nowhere, and he also toured with Big and Rich. And he says, "Hey," he says, "I need you to come out on the road with Big and Rich, and we're leaving tonight at midnight, and we're going to Washington, DC. We're playing the baseball game or something." It was like the stadium and all that, and I went, "What?" So then I'm like, whoa. So I'm immediately like rearranging my schedule. And then he starts sending me all the songs, and I'm getting these flood of emails like how many songs I had to cram. I don't know. It was probably, I don't know. It was probably like 20 tunes. I'm like, whoa. So I'm
How
doing,
much time did you have?
I literally, he called me like, I think it was around noon that day, and I had to leave at midnight that night.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. So
I mean, musicians just seem, I do this. I can play chords on a piano and I can come up with melodies and lyrics. Like that's kind of what I do. It is incredible how musicians that are at your caliber can take a song and within 12 hours have 22 down ready to go.
well, it so my email was like going boom, boom, boom. I was like, what are we gonna do? So I'm throwing everything together and I'm practicing, practicing. And then I meet the tour bus. These are all people I've never met before. I'm like, hey, how you doing? And I'm like, so next, I'm in this bunk, and then I I wake up the next morning, and here we are. We're at the stadium, and I open the door and I'm going, wow. There's like this, it was just overwhelming. It's like, whoa. And then you see all the trucks and everything. And next thing you know, you're on stage and you're performing to like thousands of people. And you're like, okay, what just happened? It was
I was on
like,
my way home from work and now I'm here a day later.
yeah, exactly. That's exactly what happened. And it was just like, went from being a day off to be like, whoa. And after that, we did some more work and did some more, shows together and things like that. I'd know Big Kenny and John Rich for a long time. But anyway, I played John Rich's club on Thursday, 2 to 6, so that's pretty cool. But anyway, that is like that. I would consider that pretty wild there. That was just
Wow.
that was pretty wild. You have to admit. I mean, it's like, whoa,
What
what just
about battling fiddles with Charlie Daniels?
Oh yeah. Yeah, I've got to play with him. I got to play with him twice, and the last time I got to play with him was when I was on tour with my group. We were signed under Curb Records, and we were on tour in Japan. So we went over and did the Country Gold Festival. Charlie Nagatani would hold that festival yearly, and I'd be on that tour, that festival every year. And one of the years was with Charlie Daniels, and uh, yeah, so we ended up we opened for him, and then he called me back out on stage to fiddle up with him, and it was amazing because I felt like, you ever have those times where you feel like everything comes just comes full circle. It's like the Lord had prepared me for that very moment. It was like I'd spent all these years like playing his stuff over and over and over again, like, of course, Devil went down to Georgia, and you know South's going to do it again, and you spend years just doing that like over repetitive, and it was only just because it was preparing you for that very moment. So when the moment did happen, it was just like, whoa. But so
Because someone told me that Johnny is not really Johnny, it's Renee. And the devil went down in Georgia.
yeah. Yeah,
That's what someone
I
told.
can't tell you how many times I kicked the devil's butt. But Charlie was a stinker. He was really hilarious because when we were in Japan, it was it was so funny because the hotel we were staying at, we had the basic Western breakfast. You could get the eggs and bacon. They knew we were there, and they would always bring us interesting sandwiches from McDonald's. They were kind of hybrid. It was really weird. But then they also had the Japanese breakfast, and I was like, for people who felt a little more adventurous. So I'm there, and we're getting breakfast, and he comes up to me, and he has this weird container. It looked like a type of rice pudding. I don't know what it was, but he came up to me. He says, "Hey, try this." And he was smiling, like, okay. And I'm like, "Well, Charlie Daniels asked me to try this." Okay. So I try it, and it turned out to be the worst tasting. Like it was god awful. It was just like I know. I mean, it just was. I just thinking about it, I can still just taste it. It's gross. And he knew it tasted really bad. And I just went like that. And I looked at him and he just smiled. Was like, and he walked
He was
off.
messing with you. He knew what
Yeah,
he was doing.
he knew it. Yeah, he was a stinker, man. He was really cool. And he borrowed one of my we had a jam the night before the show. Charlie Nagatani has this club over in Kumamoto, Japan that we would all get together and jam the night before the show, just get everybody comfortable and just have fun. And so he borrowed my fiddle, and that black fiddle that I'd taken. That you, if you get on my website, you'll see the picture. Um, that fiddle was a fiddle that my dad had made for me. He had it set up and everything. Um, so Charlie borrowed that fiddle for the jam, and he also used one of my bows, and he shredded that bow, and he actually he actually gave me one of his bows at the end of the tour, which the bows that he were using were just real basic. They're like $35 glasser sticks. I mean, plastic, because he knew he'd
Mhm.
shed through them pretty well. But I have it hanging here. It's still in my, it's hanging up where his bow. He gave me his bow, and the fiddle that he used, I had him sign it. I had him sign that fiddle for me. And then I was calling my mom and dad like up after it all happened. And of course, the time change was weird. It was like in the middle of the night where they were. I was like, Dad, Charlie Daniels just used your fiddle. And
That's
Dad's like,
pretty
"Whoa."
awesome.
Yeah, yeah, it was amazing. Yeah.
That's a fun story. Is there a, so when you were, so just for the people here, because I know a lot of them are interested, um, they like, I'm out of nowhere. I'm not like you. Like you guys have been doing this stuff for years and years and years. I basically have been writing poetry and songs for years and just got convinced to go and just try and do it just for fun. Um, and they're sitting around watching or listening, and I make a post about you, and I made you a legend here. Okay, so
Aw.
you just get ready. So, they what? And I don't know. You probably do a lot. I mean, I don't know if you've cut Judas yet. I'm not sure yet if you've done that one.
Yes,
Um,
I did.
oh, you did? What'd
So
you think about that song? No
oh,
one's heard that one yet.
oh, it's amazing. I can't. So you haven't heard it yet? You haven't heard the tracks yet?
I haven't heard it with you. I've heard it. I've heard it with me and the scratch track with the drums and the guitars, but I haven't heard it with you yet.
I'm gonna keep it a surprise.
Yeah, I'm excited.
No, it's
I'll
a
probably
great
get it
track.
today.
I love that track. Yeah, it was great. And everything just
What
fell together
about
so nicely. It was just perfect. Good
what
stuff.
about Enid? Like Enid was the one. That's the one everyone's listening to. It's simply a hometown song. That's all I was going for.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
But
That's it.
gosh, you made
It
it
took me
so
home.
whimsical.
It just took me home too. I mean, that's exactly what came through my mind. What went through my mind as I tracked it, because I'm just from this small town in West Virginia, and it's just that same thing. It's just that homegrown feel, you know. Everybody knows everyone else, and it's just real laid back and really, you know. So I really enjoyed that as well.
How do you deal with the critics? Because like it's wild. Like I've never had anything like this just pop like this. So it just popped. And it's crazy how many people come out and they just start hating on you. And then you got all these people who like how do you deal with those critics? I don't know if you've ever had to really deal. But man,
Well,
it's
if you, I mean, I think, you know, what the business that we're in is you can tend to get wrapped up in the whole approval, acceptance. You
mm,
know, there are a lot of addictions, and one of them, I will say, it can be approval and acceptance. And just know that you're already been accepted. You know,
mm.
you've already been accepted. And yes, I'm a very, very Lord Jesus filled lady. And you know, everyone, when it comes down to it,
You
it's all about you and the Lord. So,
you know why that's why you were my number one pick. You know that?
aw.
Like it was like when I was in there talking with Steve, and he was like, "Man, she loves the Lord," and I was like, "Then she's the one I want to do it."
Yes, yes, indeed. And
That was the whole that was my whole deciding factor. I saw the picture of you on the stage banging, and I was like, all that doesn't mean anything to me. It was the heart meant something to me. And when he said that you loved Jesus, I was like, that's the one I want.
well, I think
Um,
it's for me anyway, it's extra important because the business that we're in, the only thing that is consistent in this business is inconsistency. If that makes any sense, that's the only thing that's consistent, is nothing is ever consistent. But if you have the rock, the Lord, He's the one thing that is consistent. He'll never fail you. People will disappoint you, but things will disappoint you, but He'll never disappoint. So as long as
wow.
you stay focused on that, you're good to
Like,
go.
I guess that's a good segue here. What is some of the things that inspire you outside of music?
Things that inspire me. Things that inspire me. Well, I mean, like I said, I love reading scripture. I love filling myself up daily. Like I'll go before I go in to play a gig. I prepare myself mentally, and it's inspiring for me to read book of Psalms and through various scriptures. And usually I'll write one on my hand before I go in downtown because when you go downtown, yeah, it's like you get the best and the worst of people. And yeah, you kind of going into some trenches here and there. And it's important for you to stay bright, lit up, stay full of the clean water and be mentally prepared. So that's very encouraging and very inspiring me before I go in and play. Just it gives me something to focus on. Usually end up writing a scripture on my hand before I go in and with pen. I'll write scripture and I look down and it just reminds me. And it's 9 times out of 10 that scripture I wrote on my hand is something that is was applied throughout the night. It's amazing. But
Wow,
yeah.
that's really cool. I went down to Nashville when I went to Knoxville. I didn't fly. I hate flying. I hate it. And I was like, you know what? Let's make a cool trip out of this. So we stopped in Memphis, and then we went from Memphis. We went through Nashville, went to Knoxville on the way back. We stopped in
Yeah.
Nashville for a couple days. It is bonkers down there.
Yeah, yeah,
I
it's
mean,
definitely grown over the years. When I moved here in 95, there was probably like 5 clubs and that's it. You go down there and just pick, grin, make like 35 bucks, enough to, maybe back then you could still buy some groceries.
yeah.
you know. Um, but yes, and I knew it was just a matter of time before it was going to do that. I had a feeling the minute that when we started getting our various sports teams in town and our convention center, and yeah, just I knew it was just a matter of time it was going to blow up. So
I went down there and I called it like the Cowboy Vegas or New York City. This is like the Cowboy New York City down here.
yeah,
It's just
yeah, it's
um
it's great people watching.
yeah. Yeah. Just sit on the stairs over there, like right around the corner where the little fountain is. And you just sit there
Yeah.
and I mean, there's an assortment of people down there.
It's amazing, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you get your fill. It could be a form of sensory overload, I must say. Like when I finish a night of playing, when I get home and it's past 3 a.m., everything is just so quiet and that's just like my chill time. That's kind of my reward. I think about that as I
Mm.
go through the nights, like, oh, I'll get home and everything will be quiet and I'll light a candle and feed my belly. And when you get home,
Dang.
every engine light's on in your body. It's like, okay, I'm tired, I'm hungry, my feet hurt, I'm stuck like this.
It's
My ears
funny.
are like, oh. So it's nice to come home and chill out after all that. So
On a when when you're going through like your career, I'm sure you have highs and lows. I mean, we do in life in general.
yeah.
Um, when is it or how do you gauge success in music? Because it's hard because some people gauge it on they we live in this like the I think the younger generation feels this way. Likes matter. Do they like it? Do they, streams, all that. Some people don't even care about that. They care about what it meant to me. Um, but how do you actually, for yourself personally, gauge your success? I mean, not financially, you know what I'm saying? Like that to me, when it comes to music, how do you gauge that?
I would say success. I mean, through the chapters, I've pretty much covered everything there is to cover. Playing the Opry many times, the Ryman, touring with artists, actually being the artist, doing that whole rigmarole. Been I joke around. I always say, "Yep, I've done been what is it? I've done been found, used, and forgotten." But to me, it's like success is being able to do what you love and make a living doing it. Success is being able to continually grow in what you do. Um, success success is to keep standing, keep pressing forward. That's success to me. That's just the start of it. you know, Making it
There's
happen
there's
daily.
there's young players out there, like people who are starting right now. I will tell you, it's now there are some really good players in Oklahoma. Um, but like in this northwestern Oklahoma area, right?
Yeah.
Finding a great fiddle player is not easy. What would you say to someone who's starting off, like a young lady, young man who's getting their fiddle for the first time? What's some advice from the pro?
I would say don't give up, be consistent, listen to as much music as you can, other artists, other genres. Fill yourself with all kinds of different music as much as possible. Um, but you got to be consistent. You got to practice. But most of all, you got to have patience. You got to have patience in yourself, and you got to have patience with the instrument. That patience is a big one, because it's not like a usual, like if you hit a piano key, it's like the note is there. It's like ding, yep, it's there, no problem. Or a guitar chord, it's like, man, it's there. The fiddle is patience. It is patience. You got to have patience with each note. They always say practice makes perfect, but perfect, you got to be able to perfect practice. you know, Perfect practice makes perfect. And that means every single note that you play, make sure it's clean and good and in tune. Something that my aunt used to say, speed kills. Don't try to rush through it so fast. Take the time, learn each note, hit it just right. The bow, learn to just a little bit at a time. Just got to have that patience.
Because it
Patience,
really is a hard
patience.
instrument.
Yeah, it's patience and consistency. You got to be consistent.
Yeah. I just know I was doing research on fiddle playing, and it basically said one of the hardest instruments to play. And it was talking about how like a guitar has a fret, so your fingers don't have to be perfect. You can make a little mistake, but on fiddle you can't. Like there's no room for error.
Yeah.
And it's like, and it can take years and years. And then there's this like top 5%, right? And then there's the bottom 95, and to get in that top 5% playing a fiddle is ridiculously hard. And I'm like, wow, that's why there's none of them here in Northwest Oklahoma. I mean, there are a couple that are really good. I'm not slamming them,
Right.
but it's not like you can find 100 guitar players. But I need someone to play the fiddle for me this week. It's like pulling teeth around here.
It's
Certainly to
it's
play what
just
you play.
it's just a mindset. Just realize that your work is never done. You're always going to be learning something. I'll have times I've played so many songs, the same songs over and over and over and over again. Just like you're sick of it, but it's like there's always something in either the delivery of that song or down to one note. There's something that always can be improved. There's always something you can be working on to improve yourself. I don't care how many times you've played that song. There's always something you can be doing to be making that better, making that song better, making a particular line better, making a particular note you hit better. So it's sky's the limit.
And we'll just we can kind of, let's say, old, growing up, and today. Who are some of your favorite just bands, artists in general, from back in the day, from growing up, and today?
Oh
Yeah,
my
let's
goodness.
get one of each. I know that's a hard question because you're probably like, there's hundreds, but what's the first one that pops in your mind?
Well, I definitely love Ray Price, which was really cool. I got to do some work with him as well, him and his original crew before everybody passed on. I was going to ask you, living or dead? But anyway, he was really amazing. I love Dixie Dregs, love Kansas, and I'll say probably newer. I would say the older, like the Dave Matthews Band. I'd say if that would be
I,
something, Dave Matthews, back when he had Boyd in the group. You know, when he
yeah,
and when he left, I mean, I think it's important to maintain a childlike faith, and that can be hard, especially being in this business where you can get jaded at points. But I think it's important to keep that childlike faith because actually, after I heard he'd left the group that fell through, I actually emailed them.
Mm.
Well, why not? I mean, it doesn't hurt. What's the worst
Yeah,
that can happen?
yeah.
Hey, guess what? I know all your songs.
I'm available. Just give
Yeah,
me a
I
text.
must say, if they were to call me, if they were to like call me up, oh my gosh, I must say, if that was one gig that I would be like, oh.
Would be the Dave Matthews Band. That's
I mean,
pretty cool.
my ultimate artist I play for is Jesus, but
Right.
it would be a fun experience.
Yeah. So there's a difference between, um, and I'm not trying to cause controversy here, but there's a difference between the current top 40 country and, let's say, 80s to 2000.
Mhm.
How do you think it's moving right now? Do you think it's moving in a good direction, or do you like it the old way? Or kind of you just kind of just appreciate both?
So 80s to 2000.
And then you got today, what's coming out today. There's so much like drum beats, or like almost like tracking beats now that's being played in country music. And I don't know. I personally kind of like it the old way.
Yeah. Well, the older way had, definitely more steel guitar and fiddle in it. Yes, indeed.
Yeah.
Set parts to learn. Um, I think once again, it's a mindset, like, because I've played for people where they have done the newer country and there's no steel or fiddle lick to be had, but I let it work for me. It's like, well, okay, there's no steel or fiddle parts, but I'll just make my own. So
There
gives
you
me a
go.
chance to be creative and apply my thought, my musical speech to it. So I let it work for me. It's like, okay, okay, cool. I'll just create a part. I'll
When,
make it my own.
how do people react to that when they're like, "Wow, you just added a fiddle to a song that never had one"? Sounds pretty darn good, I'm
Yeah,
sure.
they're pretty tickled. I think I just let it work for me. Let it be an opportunity to be creative, to be able to create rather than go, oh, there's no still for their song. It's horrible. But I think things are going to turn around too. I think that, you know, Zach Top, I mean, he's really hitting it good. So, I mean, he's bringing country back. So I think it's just a phase. I think, everything goes through phases. It's just music goes
Yeah.
through phases. And I think people are going to be ready to come back home. And did.
Yeah, because in my mind, I think late 70s to late 80s was the best time.
Yeah.
That's and and I'm supposed to be part of the younger, you know what I'm saying? But that just in my mind, that's when I thought they were storytelling.
Yeah.
Like songs
Hmm.
had story. It wasn't just, let's stand on a truck and drink some
Yeah.
beer. It was like
Yeah.
they told a story.
It was
And there was
very,
a time when it didn't like you almost had to be 40 years old to say something in country music. You
yeah.
know, there was a time where like it didn't matter what the women looked like. Like this didn't matter.
Right.
And the men's age didn't matter. It was about what they were
Yeah.
saying in the songs. Now it's kind of like how many trucks can you sell, you know, all of that. But there was something about that time period where no one cared except the story.
Yeah, it was definitely more storytelling, and I think the songs of then they were more believable then because it was indeed the older artists and they've lived through that. You know, Keith Whitley, I mean, gosh, he's one. I mean, and just once again, I think things are gonna come around. You know, I think things are gonna, pivot. I really do.
Well, I was scared to even do anything because well, I wasn't really scared. I just actually I didn't believe in myself, really. I had to get pushed into it. But the idea was I don't I care too much about story and people don't like that anymore. You know, they like that hook, you know. But then I decided my success isn't based on how many people like it.
Yeah,
Like that really wasn't how I based it. My success was just doing it. And if I do it, there you go.
yeah.
And
The worst thing that could happen is you get into your 80s and whatever, and you have your coulda, shoulda, woulda. You know, just press in,
yeah,
and do it. Just press in and do it. What's the worst? What's the worst that could
yeah,
happen? But you enjoy
yeah.
doing it. It's
I had a
it's
great time. And
love.
these people, the critics I don't care about. They're like I'm like whatever. You know, it doesn't matter to me. But they I
When it's
guess I got in trouble because I used AI on a backtrack.
oh really?
Like, yeah, and I wasn't that wasn't the song. I wasn't using it I used it just so I could because I had the melody, like the bass line. And I was
Yeah,
like, well, I can put like an accompaniment behind it just to hear what it would sound like. Sounds nothing like what you guys have done. You know, that's not
yeah,
any of that. But people were
yeah.
like, I can't believe you didn't do it. And I'm like, I wrote the melody in the song. Why are you all so mad about this? You know, they just started trashing me. And I was like,
Yeah, well,
well, what do you do? Um,
you
you
just
know, I was just
pressing
trying to do
forward.
my best to get a demo. That's all I was wanting. You know how many fiddle players are around here? None. So I noted it out and used a fiddle that was computer generated and said, try that. And then you made it literally 10 times better. 10 times better. So if they say AI has 196 IQ, your musical IQ is higher than that because it was so much better than that. And I just really, I do want to say thank you. You guys have all been amazing. Um, what are you doing now? Like if people want to like follow you or listen in or are you just doing session playing now or
You know, I am let's see. Right, like right now when I'm in town, I play a lot on Lower Broadway. I play a lot at Roberts Western World. I play at Redneck Riviera. I play at the stage. I play at Legends. I'll do some work at Hank. So I'll play downtown. So usually, and it's pretty much 5 to 6 days a week. So you can usually catch me uh, down there.
somewhere?
Yeah, you can write me on my website, reneetruex.com. Send me a message and let me know if you're in town, and I'll write you right back, or send me a message on Facebook. So I play in town, but yes, I do session work. I do a couple sessions a week. And I'm teaching. I have a couple students I'm teaching. Um, I'm part of a tour called Stay Awake America. We're going to be coming to or up around Long Island, New York. I think, yeah, November 14th to 15th. And it's a really cool thing to be doing. We have speakers, um, we have video, we have killer music. I'm in a band with a gentleman. His name's Casper McLeod. So we're the Casper McLeod band, and I would say it's a Christian rock group, and I have a lot of fun with that because it's Christian rock and it's stuff that's cool. It's outside the box for Jesus. It's good stuff. So we unite, engage, and activate. And yeah, it's a really cool tour. So you can look it up at stayawakeamericatour.com. And I'm also heading up to I'll be going up to Maine with a gentleman named Jay Bragg. We're actually doing he does a new vaudeville show, which is another thing that is amazing. It's outside the box, but he's doing a thing called New Vaudeville, and we've done several shows before. We finished up one show. We have to go do video today to promote the Christmas vaudeville show. And vaudeville is amazing. His grandparents were both in vaudeville back in the 30s. They were in New York, and they did New York, vaudeville shows. Vaudeville was an excellent way to escape around that time because of the Great Depression. So you had singers and dancers and comedians and you know fire jugglers and all that. So we do that stuff. So we do music, and we have a sword swallower. We've had comedians, puppet people. So we're going to be going up to Maine, doing several dates up there, and then we're doing a couple in Nashville, and then we're going to yeah, Chicago, and then there's one in Atlanta. And you can look that up under Jay Bragg. It's JayBragg. Look up Jay Bragg, New Vaudeville, and all the tour dates are listed. So it's going to be really awesome. So we dress up and everything. It's really cool.
That's so awesome.
Yeah, it is. It's amazing.
Well, do you have any parting words for the listeners?
Well, all I can say is, through the music that we do, to me, music it's a journey. And I feel like my mission, no matter where the Lord puts me, wherever he may put you, but we're called to be a bright light in this world. And there's a lot of darkness going on right now, but we are called to be the bright light in the darkness. And the darker it is, the brighter the light shines. So that's to me, that's the biggest thing right there.
So I don't know if you knew this about me, but I pastor. Um, and my closing words every week is love God, love people, and bring light into darkness.
That's exactly it.
Yeah.
You got
Thank you,
it.
Renee. You're the
Thank
best. Thank you
you.
so much.
Thank you. Let's get together and play.